Hello everyone and welcome. This is part 4 of my color along out of Mythographic Menagerie by Fabianaattanasio. This is my final part, so I am going to focus on the giraffe because I keep meaning to get the giraffe done and run out of time. And then from there I will just kind of, whatever time I have left, fill in the rest. But again, these are just going to be pink, kind of like these over here that haven't blossomed yet. You know, these are going to be kind of petals that may have fallen off or this. My circles are going to be this shiny gold. So the rest is pretty much just final touches. So for my giraffe, I did pull quite a range of colors. I'm not sure what I'll use specifically, but I will kind of, I'm going to start with goldenrod and yellow ochre as my dark colors. Jasmine and cream to fill in my highlights. I did pull a sand. We'll see. Burnt ochre and dark umber will be for the spots of my giraffe and his mane. And then I'm not sure if I will use canary yellow, but I did pull it just in case. So I'm going to pull it in a little closer. Okay, sorry about the wiggle. So first thing first, I'm going to come in with my goldenrod. And I'm going to shade in, trying not to do his spots. Doesn't matter if you get it in the spots because they'll be fairly dark anyway, but I'm shadowing along here because his neck is laying down, so it will be in the shadows technically. So goldenrod will be my darkest color for this. So I'm also going to do around the ears here. And if you want to work lightest to darkest on something like this, that works great too. I'm just always in the habit of darkest first. So right here where his leg, it's also a little trickier with the spots here. So I'm going to grab my dark umber that rolled under my book. Sorry. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure I do these spots on his spots darker. So this is just for my knowledge so that I remember these are shadowed areas. I'm going to do the tip of his nose so it doesn't get lost in that orange, just because the goldenrod is similar. And whoa, throwing stuff around here. This spot over here needs to be shadowed. So it doesn't matter whether you want to start with his spots and then go around with the yellow, or put the yellow in first and then do spots. My only suggestion is that you think about when you come in, if you do your spots how I'm going to do them with the fur technique like this, with the strokes all the way around, that when you come around with your lighter colors like cream, that might smear and make it blurry. So you may want to put your yellows in first. Okay, so then I'm also gonna go right here with this. And there might be a couple more spots I shadow as I get into it. Those are just the ones that kind of caught my eye right off. But I am gonna come and do under this hairline. And half of his ear and this hairline here, and now we're building structure into her face. So I'm going to do her little eyebrow type thing here, and I'm going to do under her eye. So I don't want to make it look like she has a black eye or anything. I just want a little color there. Again, making sure I have my fuzzy edge everywhere so I can blend my next color, which is going to be yellow ochre. Now if you did a bright sunny yellow and orange, you might want to go more cream and jasmine than yellow ochre and goldenrod. I am sticking to traditional-ish giraffe colors, but that can vary. You know, you can have a more golden giraffe, a more yellowy giraffe, because we still want it to be pleasing to the eye. Okay, around his nose. So anywhere I put that goldenrod, I want to make sure I come in next with this yellow ochre, because it is our blending color. We don't want to jump from goldenrod straight to cream. That's a pretty big jump. So we want to help this transition here from our dark to our highlight colors. Again, if you feel like your yellow is blending in too much with that background, you can darken it. Totally up to you. Okay, I'm going to leave his feet alone for a minute. And then I'm going to bring in that jasmine. So I'm still going to leave a little bit of white. Jasmine is not quite my highlight color. And here you can see where the goldenrod, I forgot to add some yellow. Okay, sorry about that. So again, still leaving some white because this is not my highlight color. Still transitioning. A lot of blends you can do 3 colors, but please remember that you don't have to do just 3 colors. The more blends and colors you have, the more vibrant your piece will be. Okay. So I am going to, I put a little jasmine in there, but I am going to come in and add a little of this in a couple spots so it doesn't look all one color. Again, leaving some white. I'm actually going to leave that fairly white so it looks like a highlight when I get everything in. I am going to shadow the bottom of his leg here. So if you wanted to put your cream down and base layer and then come back and decide where you want your shadows, that works too. I sometimes don't do that because I lose vibrancy when I try to put colors on top of colors like that, darker colors on top of lighter colors. But with this all being fairly light in yellows, creams, it doesn't matter a whole lot. You're not going to lose too much. Okay, so he's not looking very fuzzy yet. We're going to work on that next. So I'm going to take in my cream, and everywhere I kind of left, and everywhere I see lines, I'm going to blend. So I'm trying to blend out all the lines that look rough. And it looks weird with these half-colored spots, but I really needed those markers there for me. And I skipped one even, so I'm going to fill that in before I forget that that's a spot, because I will. So I skipped over here so that the edge of his leg would be highlighted because I put a shadow there. And there is the somewhat body of our giraffe. And I'm trying not to color over those dots too much because I still need to put some brown on the spots. Okay, so for my spots, I went pretty dramatic. I went with the dark umber, of course, and the burnt ochre, if I could think of the word. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stripe in with little flicks all around the edges. Oh, and I broke my tip. That was a new Prismacolor too. Sorry about the noise, I'm trying to sharpen it just a little on every side so I don't break it. Okay, you can leave the edges dark, fill the whole thing in with burnt ochre. You can use dark brown if you want a little lighter spots. I'm going to fill in with goldenrod so that he still kind of matches his other colors, but you can definitely tell that we have a spot going there. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Someone was outside calling for their mom. And I'm never sure how well you can hear things. Like I hear them really well on my end, so I'm not sure if that was gonna come across on camera. But that wasn't my kiddo, so I didn't want someone to think I was ignoring my kiddo in the background or something. Okay, so again, kind of making it look jagged. Okay, fill in that middle with goldenrod. And then again, whatever you don't like. Too light, too dark, not enough dark. And then I'm going to put just a couple dark lines so it kind of has a fur texture. That is personal preference. Okay, same thing with over here. I'm going to fill a couple of these in at a time here, kind of. I knew there was a chance the outside was going to be noisy today because it's like the first non-rainy day we've had. We had a tornado land somewhere close to us yesterday and then a flash flood right after the tornado. So that was an eventful day. But today is like normal summer, back to 80-degree. So I knew there were people out, but I was like, man, kids are at football. It's a nice time to try to get a video done anyway. So if you wanted to get fun with it, you know, you could always go pink giraffe, blue giraffe, whatever, purple. You don't have to do a brown giraffe. My ear up here, I'm going to add a little of this burnt ochre. So it doesn't blend in with his body so much. And then I will blend it down with that goldenrod. So if there's anywhere you want a little darker that you feel like your goldenrod didn't do it, add your burnt ochre. The inside of his ear, I'm going to do jasmine. So if you want the inside of his ear to be pink, you can do it that way. I'm going to stick with yellow. I don't want to have just one pink spot in the middle of this. I feel like with this, it would look weird. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do his spots. I'm going to quickly... shade this in a little better so I don't have too many streaks. Do his mane so you can see, or whatever they're called on a giraffe. So super sharp pencils, tips. That's not sharp enough. I'm going to follow the pattern of the hair, just like if I were doing human hair. More strokes where I want them darker, less where I want lighter. And I'm going to stroke upwards, and then I'm going to start at the top and go down. So all flicking, no scrubbing. Okay, this is the burnt ochre, and I'm going to use my Prismacolor handheld sharpener because it gets way sharper without eating as much of my pencil. I got mine out of the Techniques box. I'm not sure. I think you can buy them separate with like an eraser or something. Some people like it, some people don't. So, okay, and then I'm going to do that yellow ochre. And it's going to look a little wild for a second. Stroking upward. Okay, and then goldenrod, and then I feel like, sorry, I forgot the dryer was on. Just kind of touching that up a little because I feel like some of that looks a little wild. I'm going to have to play with that a little bit, but that is going to be basically how I do his fur. And then it kind of gets that little highlight with that yellow in there. So anywhere you want to darken, of course, just go back over. This is his leg bent right here, so I'm actually going to highlight this area, and then I'm going to keep that dark because I thought that was going to be a hoof at first, but it's not. So we're just going to keep that, and you'll kind of be able to see where you want to fix up once you get your spots in. That is going to be my giraffe part. I will fill in the rest off camera so you don't have to watch me do all that. My next thing is I'm going to take these Deco Color, paint pens. These are premium oil-based metallic paint marker. They do go through and leave an oil spot on the other side. I've never had one leave one on like the next page, but you can definitely see where I used it over here, so be aware of that. Also be aware they are very strong. They're on Amazon for $4. If you can find them in your local Walmart, they are in the craft department with like the paint pens and the duct tape and things. That's where I get mine because they're cheaper. But yes, always be aware they are very strong odored. And if you're not using them on a single-sided page. So I'm going to come through so that I don't have the gold, because again, I don't like using one color on my page in just one spot. And I'm going to try to hide the black lines if I can, which I didn't do a very good job going around the sunflower of doing. Just trying to keep a circle shape the best I can. So that is going to be my circles. If you're wanting like a sunburst effect, like how you get those little circles of brightness in photos, you just do a light color of whatever colors. So if I were doing it here, I'd probably do like this one right here. I would leave white or cream. This one I'd probably do cream, maybe yellow. But I really like these gold pens, and if you've been with me, you are probably tired of hearing about my gold pens, but I do like them. So I do like to use them. If you have chalk markers or acrylic paint, you can put dots in whatever color you wish that way as well too. I do like chalk markers, but I think this gold attracts me because it's shiny. Gel pens would work as well, as long as you didn't color over them, because gel pens don't love to go over pencil. But if you did your page in marker, gel pen would be an option too. Okay, I will touch the rest of that. Did I manage to wipe that off with my hand or just miss a whole section? Okay. So there are my gold accents. Let's hop down here to some leaves. I'm going to pause this for 1 minute and let my gold dry, otherwise I will smear it everywhere. Alright, now that that's dry, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to play with my mushrooms a little bit. So I'm going to do some more pink, some more orange. So that is processed red, magenta, which are pretty close to the same color, but for some reason magenta blends better with orange than processed red does. I'm going to do some hot pink on this one, and just a little stripe of orange, and then a tiny bit on there with an orange tip. I don't want them all to look the same, that's no fun. And then my black cherry, like I did on this one, that kind of got smeared a little when I tried to blend. This is going to be my lines in the mushroom, just to give it a little texture here. Okay, this one I'm going to do the orange first, just because he is going to be mostly orange. And then I'm going to tip the bottom hot pink. And same with this guy up here, so there's a nice variety. And then I'm going to tip this one, or actually I guess tip the bottoms of it, I should say. So on these ones I'm going to use processed red, kind of, bless me, sorry. I'm telling you, allergy season has hit me hard. I don't know if it's the rain or the wind or what, but like the last 2 days, no matter how many allergy meds I take, nose spray, eye drops, no, my face is still not happy. Alright, so there are my mushrooms. Now I did notice when I was waiting for my gold paint to dry that I just nicely skipped this whole rock behind this flower here, so I have to come back and fill this in as well. If you paid more attention on your page, yours is probably already filled in. And I skipped a mushroom. See how? I'm going to bring that down a little there. And then I'm going to bring the hot pink up on the sides of that one. Again with the processed red. Okay. Now I think maybe I got them all. Okay, my flowers over here. I'm going to do the bottoms purple. Processed red. And this brings in a little more of that purple out of the sunflower and kind of helps balance out our page. I feel like that purple was a little dark up here and nowhere else. So okay, and I am not going to bring the orange in right here because I have the moss that's yellow. So I'm going to leave these pink, and I'm going to come back over and fill in my darker areas with the dark pink. And then I'm going to lightly just kind of outline that. Okay, as for my leaves over here, this is my Prussian green, which is going to be my dark down the center. I don't want light because I don't want my lime peel or my artichoke to blend in, so I'm not using those colors right here. Okay, that grass green again. And I'm only doing a tiny bit. Again, keeping with the more yellow greens because I don't want, this is a warm color page. I don't have any cool colors really on here. They're all very warm toward the reddish yellow side of their spectrum. So I want to keep that going with my greens. So I'm not going to add any turquoise blues or peacocks or nothing like that. And then after I get that in, I can also see where I need to work on my rock over here some more, which is where the final touches come into play. Okay, and then if you need to, you can throw your pencil on the floor like I did, or adjust as necessary with your dark now that you have another layer in to help blend it into. So just kind of work it till it looks like what you're happy with. I did do my stems this Prussian green. Okay, and so this one will be the same, and so will this one over here. These petals that are falling down look more like petals to me than they do leaves because they don't have the lines. So I'm going to do a couple of them. Let's get on camera here. That would be great. The same as they are on the sunflowers. So I'm going to do it dark at the bottom. And I'm going to blend it back up through that whole pattern all the way up to the yellow. So that is how I'm going to do those. I might do a couple just regular pink or just yellow, but that one looks like it came perfectly off the flower. So I'm going to do this one the same way, making it look like it's falling this way. So black cherry, magenta, hot pink, orange, and tip of yellow. So that will be those leaves. Let me pull out. All right, so there is our page. I think it is looking great. I got a couple spots to finish up, but I showed you how to do a little bit of everything. Questions, comments, requests for the book for next month, please let me know because I have no idea what I'm doing yet and I'm almost out of month. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. So many of you have told me that you are joining in. I'm so excited to see the pages. Please don't forget to tag me, and I hope to see you for the next one.